He notices you stealing glances.
What? A student with black spiky hair and emerald eyes stood near your table. You're the only one in the table's what? He averts his glances to the rest, then returns to you. You usually with that Sunohara guy?
Tomoya leans against the table, a slight frown on his face. Yeah, and what of it?
Caleb pulls out his lunchbox. And it wouldn't hurt to have a third wheel here. He places which in your table, then himself in the 4-seat table.
Tomoya's frown deepens and he crosses his arms. You don't even know me, pal. What makes you think you can come sit at my table?
Caleb, at least you've heard people call him that, opens his lunchbox. Come on, that's a no. I am the third wheel here. And hey, I'm a transferee here, not a so-called delinquent.
Tomoya grumbles and rolls his eyes. Tsk, who cares if you're a third wheel or some new guy? Doesn't mean you can waltz into my table.
Caleb nods and shouts an individual sushi of his. Right, who cares? Shoulda remembered the delinquent's cold shoulders. He then stood up and packed back up his lunch, except with a sushi subtracted. But hey, that was a meeting.
Tomoya stands up and grabs a hold of Caleb's shoulder, stopping him from leaving. Hold up, we aren't done here yet. You've pissed me off now, newbie.
Caleb flinched, looking back at you. What? You wanted me or not? Be careful of how you treat first years.
Tomoya grins. His grip on Caleb's shoulder tightens. Oh, I know how to deal with little first years like you.
Caleb held your hand on his shoulder with a little force of it away. Then, put this out of me.
Tomoya pushes Caleb back and shoves him against the table. Yeah, you're tough, huh, punk? You gonna fight a senior student?
Caleb sarcastically replies, not in a way of messing with you. I totally said that. I'm just hungry, bro, and by the way, pick on a senior indeed.
Tomoya steps closer to Caleb, a hint of anger in his eyes. Watch your tongue. I don't like your sarcastic attitude, punk. You're getting on my nerves here.
Caleb stood back up and dusts himself. He tries to be dismissive. Very well, leave it another time. You wanted me out of your table for good.
Tomoya stands there, his eyes narrowed at Caleb. You're lucky I'm letting you go this time. Don't come near my table again, you hear me?
Unless I'm a delinquent, he teases his last. Okay, enjoy yourselves. He walks away whole, picking another table.
Tomoya glares after him, his mood soured. Damned first years, think they can do anything they please.
Well, I'll be damned, a female voice spoke out.
Tomoya turns to Kyou, a slight frown on his face. Hey, you just saw that?
Kyou nods, her arms crossed. Yeah, that was a pretty big show just now. She pauses for a moment, then a sly smile forms on her face. Didn't know you had to flex on your seniority to drive away a first year.
Tomoya rolls his eyes at her comment. Oh, shut up. He was trying to be a smartass and he was pissing me off. I'm not dealing with some first-year third wheel, thinking he can do whatever he wants.
Kyou chuckles, shaking her head in amusement. Oh, come on, Tomoya, you're seriously getting worked up over a first year's annoying attitude? You could have just told him to buzz off. No need to get all senior on him.
Tomoya huffs in annoyance and crosses his arms. Yeah, well, that show-off's the last thing the table needs. Gosh, I'd rather have Sunohara here drooling right now.
Kyou snorts, trying to hold back a laugh. You'd rather have Sunohara drooling at the table? Wow, Tomoya, you're really desperate for any company, aren't you?
Yuhei has joined Tomoya's table. He puts the lunch bag with various stuffed bread on the table before sitting across from Tomoya. Yo, me and these goodies have joined!
Tomoya looks away to Yuhei, his frown slowly fading and a half smile appears on him. Hey, about time you got here. I was about to start eating without you.
Yuhei puts his feet on the table, taking one of the breads out and taking a bite of it. Wouldn't be the first time I caught you eating good before me.
Kyou watches the scene unfold with a mixture of amusement and irritation. She shakes her head and lets out a sarcastic remark. Well, if it isn't the dynamic duo, Tomoya and Sunohara back together again.
Tomoya rolls his eyes, clearly used to Kyou's sarcastic remarks. Oh, shut up, Kyou. You're just jealous of our bromance.
Kyou rolls her eyes back at Tomoya. Oh, please, I wouldn't be caught dead envying your bromance with him. She turns her gaze to Sunohara. Sunohara, seriously, can't you at least have some manners and not put your feet on the table?
Yuhei grins nonchalantly, and with his mouth still full, he lifts his other foot to the table to show her his manners. Why not? Not like there are any teachers around.
Kyou scoffs and her eye twitches in annoyance. Oh, brilliant! Just because there aren't any teachers around doesn't mean you can just act like a slob. It's called having basic etiquette.
Tomoya chuckles at Kyou and Sunohara's banter and joins in with a smirk. Can't handle a bit of Sunohara's unique charm, huh?
Kyou shoots Tomoya a glare. Please, spare me. Sunohara's behavior is anything but charming. He's just a hopeless idiot.
Yuhei gulps down the bread in his mouth before sticking his tongue out at her like a child, enjoying the way he gets under her skin. Aw, but you're always so mean to me, Kyou. You're missing out on the fun.
Kyou rolls her eyes again, her irritation growing. Oh, please, Sunohara. Your idea of fun is eating and scaring the girls. Excuse me for not wanting to join in on that.
Tomoya laughs heartily at Kyou and Sunohara's exchange. He decides to add fuel to the fire. Come on, Kyou. You gotta admit it's pretty hilarious when Sunohara flirts with girls. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Yuhei grins, enjoying the banter. That's right, Tomoya gets it. Flirting with girls is a skill, and I'm a master at it. He then turns to Kyou with a smirk, fluttering his eyelashes exaggeratedly. Why don't I show you just how charming I can be, eh, Kyou?
Kyou rolls her eyes, her annoyance reaching new heights. Charming? You? That's like saying a hurricane is a gentle breeze. Your idea of charming is about as smooth as sandpaper.
Tomoya snickers at Yuhei's attempt to charm Kyou, finding immense entertainment in watching their playful argument. Oh man, Sunohara, that was a solid attempt. But you're fighting a deadly battle with Kyou, my friend.
Yuhei just grins wider, not discouraged by her dismissal. He then turns to Tomoya, giving him a sly grin. I know, so too bad someone like Kyou ain't having it.
Tomoya chuckles and shrugs. Yeah, tough luck, buddy. You know how Kyou is. Unflinching and unyielding.
Kyou crosses her arms, a smug expression on her face. That's right. I'm impervious to your supposed charming attempts, Sunohara. Neither will I flinch when it turns scary.
Yuhei rolls his eyes and smirks, still determined to get under her skin. Heh, more like you are the scary one.
Tomoya laughs at Sunohara's retort, enjoying watching the two of them trade barbs. Yeah, I gotta agree with Sunohara on that one. You can be pretty terrifying sometimes, Kyou.
Kyou pouts, feigning mock offense. Oh, spare me. Just because I have a backbone, don't put it up with your immaturities. She huffs, a hint of a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. It's clear that she secretly enjoys the banter.
Yuhei grins, enjoying the banter. And don't put it up with my charisma. I've got the charm to make girls weak in the knees. He then turns to Kyou, winking exaggeratedly in a flirty manner. And maybe even you, Kyou.